So ready whenever you are.
Should I do it this way?
I'm just making this present now. Okay. So I am proposing a Converse and Chance the Rapper collaboration. I'll explain why by giving some background information on them. So Converse is now over 100 years old, and they are still very present and current in today's styles. The iconic brand have built their branding on the stylistic values of inspiring youth today and encouraging them to be their individual selves. So with over 100 years in the business, they can be described as an anchor across pop culture, and it's good to see why, as they can be seen in films, television and across music platforms. So despite being over 100 years old, they are still very present on social media, with over 5 million Instagram followers and over 45 million likes on Facebook. In their more recent history, however, they have been bought by the sneaker brand of Nike, and with finishing the 2018 fiscal year with over $1,886 million US, they managed to acquire 10% of Nike's overall profits. However, there is room for improvement, as Nike announced a 16% quarterly slump for the brand. So this will be one of our main KPIs in the collaboration to completely turn this around, and by bringing a fresh audience to the brand, hopefully profits will be on the rise again. And this will hopefully make us stay a real threat and very dominant over key competition like Adidas and Vans, especially Vans, as Vans and Converse ad campaigns are considered very similar, especially their off-the-wall campaign from Vans. So now on to Chance the Rapper. The rapper has a very cemented and grass-rooted fan base and is now worth over $33 million as an individual. His fans are very true to him, mainly because of his individual branding and his values, and he's very popular across the world, with following on Instagram and Twitter of over 10 million. Chance can be described as an angelic figure in the industry, or a snake-ridden industry has been described, as he is completely rejected the normalities of the traditional music industry, and he is not belonging to a label, nor will he ever will. He releases his music completely free in the form of mixtapes, so they're streamable. And it's very successful because he actually was the first artist to ever win a Grammy whilst not actually making any profits from his music. So how does he become worth $33 million without selling any music? And that is purely because of he's been described as crushing the merchandise game for years. His merchandising business on chanceraps.com sells anything from stickers, lighters to hoodies and clothing, and his Chance 3 campaign, especially with the Chance cap here, was so successful he was described as a marketing genius. So, why the pair together? So they clearly show a synergy between them, as their values and styles are very similar. They are both unique and inspirational to the youth of today, but they also can be described as quite rebellious in the industry. As one of the vice presidents at Converse described, they like to only work with daring to rebellious individuals, which can perfectly describe Chance the Rapper. Their styles are very complementary, as Chance has been seen to wear quite nostalgic clothing, with just wearing dungarees at his Coachella performance, which kind of alludes to the 90s era, which is an era that Converse can allude to, with the grunge explosion in the 90s and artists like Kurt Cobain wearing the cool stars. Also an individual is quite rebellious and daring. So for the whole concept of the idea, the whole marketing launch will be based around the idea of tactically using Chance the Rapper's release of his 4 new singles to link in with our new merchandise from Converse. This was very successful for his Chance 3 campaign with the drop of his 3rd mixtape colouring book. So we will concentrate on the idea of Chance 4 with the release of his 4 new singles. So that will be the logo that we'll use on the sneaker. The whole physicality of the products, as well as the launch strategy, will be based on the artwork done by Brandon Bureau, who does the artwork for all of Chance the Rapper's mixtape covers. This time they are very abstract, and they have been criticised or rumoured to be an abstraction of modern technology, so things like meme culture and emojis, so all things fresh and current in today's technology. So these are the artworks here for each 4 singles with the Converse incorporated, and it's been rumoured that this one here is an abstraction of the meme of Arthur's fist, so very current and fresh for today's audiences. So going on the whole abstraction idea, the reason the launch strategy will be abstract as well is because there will be no official launch date given, and instead it will be a sudden drop, which the rapper has so often done with his music products and past collaborations. And we want to drip feed information to audiences and then give a sudden drop to create hysteria about the whole thing. So the target audience will be quite a young audience, and it'll be based off of Chance the Rapper's fan base, so an average of 16 to 30 years old, and psychographics will include interest in the hip-hop genre and interest in other artists such as Kanye West and Tyler the Creator, who is a past Converse collaborator. So to reach that target audience, we're going to be very focused on social media, crucially Instagram, as it's very visual, and we only want to post visual hints to our audiences, so no information or comments will be given out in the below the images, and cropped images of colour and just hints at the artwork and hints of the sneaker will be given. Additionally, with the social media, we will set up a pop-up store in downtown Chicago where the rapper is from, and he's been described to be closely in touch with his city and his community. It will act as a social media stunt and literally pop out of nowhere, and to create the desire to get their hands on a collaboration by Chance and Converse. Hopefully hashtags will be created, and celebrities will be posting that they are at the event and that they have a pair of the sneaker to strengthen and solidify the desire to know more about the collaboration. So the same kind of idea will be with the mailing list as well. On both mailing lists, only visual hints will be sent out to the audiences, just hinting at collaborations. Maybe only those on both mailing lists can make the link, and maybe one will make the link with the other one and vice versa. We only want to send out 2 to 3 emails to not overkill or bore our audiences before the launches even come out, like so many retailers do today. So the whole abstraction kind of idea did come from the abstract paintings, but it did also come from Chance the Rapper himself, as he has so often been described as unpredictable, and this unpredictability has become part of his charm, and his audiences almost expect not to expect anything from him.
So it's like you're unexpected.
Yeah, so with his past mixtape, he fully just launched it out of nowhere with the comment "enjoy." No information was given about it at all. So it seems like a Chance and Converse collaboration is well overdue. Their styles match each other, and it will be very fresh and current in terms of physical products and the launch strategies. It will be very different from other collaborations and retailers today. The pairing will be very current and complementary, and therefore will follow through on becoming a success for both brands in bringing a larger following to both brands and increase the Converse profits. Thank you very much.